Good morning, and welcome to another Memphis Answers. This is Memphis Answers number 6. Today we have a question about dust collection on my orbital sander. I tell you, I have a terrible problem with sawdust. One guy told me in the comments he couldn't really watch the video because he had to turn it off because I was clearing my throat too much and and all that stuff. And I know my voice just goes downhill whenever I'm around sawdust. I'm probably okay now because I don't have any sawdust going on in here now, but I'm really allergic to it, and so I go to extremes trying to exclude it. Doesn't make me feel bad. It just and if I didn't make videos, I might not even know I got the problem. But whenever I breathe in dust or sawdust, wood sawdust, my voice becomes raspy. I clog all up like I got asthma or something. But anyway, let's get to the question. The question is, how do I hook up my dust collection or my orbital sander to my dust collection? Let's get to it. Knock off the chatter and get to work. Here's the question from Dennis. It says, good morning, Memphis. I noticed that your sander was hooked up to your dust collection. It looks like the same DeWalt sander I use, but my exhaust port is not compatible with a vacuum hose. Did you adapt yours to fit? Let's answer that question, Dennis. I used to have a central vac system, and this was the blower fan for it. Now the only thing I got connected to it is my dual drum sander. My thickness planer simply blows right out is vented right out the window. 5 of my tools have built-in dust collection where I got built a fancy cabinet and put the shop vac in a cabinet and then rigged it up to come on when I use the saw. I've got that system here on my jointer. Got that on my oscillating drum sander. All I do is just turn on the drum sander, and the sander comes on, and the dust collection is initiated. Same with my router. And importantly, same with my 48-inch belt sander. When I turn on the belt sander, the dust collection automatically comes on. Let me show you how that dust is collected off that. You wouldn't think it would work, but what happens is the suction is taken in this little plastic hood, and the dust flows along the surface of that belt and is sucked in this back channel right here. For my table saw, I use this giant shop vac right here. I got the biggest one I could find, so it takes a real good suction on that table saw. And for my random orbit sander here, I use it a lot, so I just keep it permanently attached to this shop vac right here. Then I can just unplug it and take it wherever I need it, because I'm not going to use this 99.9% of the time. I'm not going to use this unless it's connected to the vacuum. So the question is, how do I connect it down here? So when you look at this, it almost looks like a store-bought invention. But let's see why it isn't. These small shop vacs come with these little stackable tools that you can attach your shop vac to, and then you can put attachments on the bottom for to clean the floor. Now these things come apart, but the problem is this end right here is too small and it doesn't fit in your sander. I'll show you how I remedied that. So if I take my little adapter off here, these are self-tapping screws. I use them for everything. Okay, the standard stackable tube, they have a bigger ID at the top and smaller at the bottom. It won't fit in there. And this side's too big. And that's too small. So what you got to do, and you want your vacuum, you want this part right here to slide into into the larger end, and then you want this to slide into here. So all you do is you cut this tube, whatever that is, 3.5, 4 inches, cut that off until the outer diameter exactly fits into to the opening of your sander, just like this. And I hold mine in with these little screws so that I can, so it won't keep coming out all the time. So now my sander will hook up right to my thing. So if you get a small shop vac, you'll get these stackable tubes. Saw them off until the OD, you can see that they're tapered. They're big here and smaller here. So there's a point here on this continuum that has the OD here matches the ID of your sander. So you just got to find that point, cut it off, slide it in, and Bob's your uncle. Well, that does it for Memphis Answers number 6. How do I hook my orbital sander into my dust collection? I just use the stackable tubes that come with the small shop vac, cut it off where the OD fits the ID of the sander, slide it in, hold it on with some self-tapping screws, and works great. I keep mine hooked up all the time. I just store my sander right with the shop vac. So Dennis, I hope that answered your question, and thanks for watching, and thanks for playing along.